Hey guys, I'm Glenn and welcome to another Glenn Prince Tech video. In this video, we will be analyzing Zoom's success and how their recent security problems threaten to affect their market share. We all know Zoom as one of the most popular video conferencing apps today. Their rise to popularity almost seems like it came out of nowhere. To better understand their success, we must first go back a few decades. It all began back in the 1990s when Zoom's founder Eric Yuan of China's Shandong province was inspired by a speech from Bill Gates about the dot-com bubble. It was at that moment he realized that his future would be in California's Silicon Valley and not in Japan, where he had been working for 4 years. Eric quickly encountered his first hurdle after having his visa application denied by the US Embassy. It would take him 2 years and 7 more visa denials to finally get a United States visa. He moved to the US in 1997 and got an engineering job at video conferencing software company WebEx. Because of his expertise in writing computer code, he was very instrumental in the growth of the company's video conferencing tool. Fast forward to 2007. WebEx was acquired by Cisco for $3.2 billion. Eric's proficiency propelled him to the position of Corporate VP of Engineering at Cisco. This high-ranking position meant that Yuan now made a very healthy six-figure annual salary. Even with a hefty income and a comfortable life, Yuan wasn't happy. This is because the WebEx conferencing tool, although pretty good, was far from the complete package. Video and audio would lag due to unstable connectivity, and IT departments complained of it being a pain in the behind to install. After speaking to customers, Yuan knew that these issues could spell trouble for the company. Customers just weren't happy with the product. He then proposed a few changes which would enhance the user experience, but these were never taken up. After stiff resistance from higher ups within the organization, Yuan made the shocking decision to leave the company. He said that Cisco was more focused on social networking, trying to make an enterprise Facebook. While it seemed extremely risky to many, Yuan had this to say: "The purpose of life is to be happy, and I was not happy. Then what's the risk?" Even his wife felt it was a bad decision to leave Cisco at the time, but he told her if he doesn't try, he will regret it. He was now on a mission to create the most practical and efficient video conferencing app which would be void of the issues that plagued WebEx. This was something he envisioned a long time ago when he lived in China. In an interview with Forbes, Yuan said he was only able to see his girlfriend twice a year as they were both in different colleges separated by a 10-hour train ride. At that time, he said to himself that it would be fantastic if in the future there was a device where he could simply click a button to see and talk to her. He wasn't alone on this mission. Over 35 WebEx engineers saw his vision and left when he did. According to the Financial Times, Yuan found it very difficult to convince investors to back his new venture in the initial stages, so he borrowed money from friends and family to get Zoom started. He said at the time, investors believed that the market was too crowded for Zoom to be successful. They would later come on board after seeing the tremendous potential that Zoom possessed. His team developed a beta version of Zoom and tested it with tech companies in Silicon Valley. Subsequent to this, he was able to secure $3 million in funding. After addressing some minor issues, Zoom was officially launched in 2013. It was an instant success, gaining over 40 million individual users and 65,000 companies within the first 2 years of its launch. What makes these figures even more impressive is that prior to 2015, Zoom had no marketing team, only relying on word-of-mouth promotion. This worked well because the product they were offering was a very good one. Connectivity was super reliable, and even more importantly, the installation process was very simple. Yuan was doing all he could to build his company, even doing customer service duties by personally responding to customers who cancelled their Zoom subscription. In March of last year, Zoom filed to go public. They started trading at $36 US per share, and by the end of the first day, it had increased by over 72%. According to the Financial Times, Zoom is now worth $35 billion and can boast of having over 30,000 corporate clients, which include companies like Walmart, Capital One, Samsung, and Uber. A lot of that growth coincided with the global pandemic, as everyone is now working, socializing, and doing schoolwork from home. Prior to March, Zoom's maximum total users per month was 10 million. By the end of March, this exploded to a whopping 200 million. While Zoom appears to be an unstoppable force, security concerns are threatening to bring them down. A number of companies and organizations have discontinued the use of the popular video conferencing app amid fears of data privacy issues. Listen to this report from CNBC TV.
Feels like the hits just keep coming for Zoom lately. It's not just SpaceX banning the app, also NASA prohibiting its employees from using it on security and privacy concerns. Now, on top of that, the FBI has warned against Zoom bombing. The company is also under pressure for sharing data with Facebook and certain other vulnerabilities. Now, CEO Eric Yuan, he did confront some of these issues this week in a post and said that they are taking steps to address them. He also said that Zoom, though, saw active daily users spike to 200 million in the month of March. That is a huge increase. It just continues to add users. Now, Zoom shares, they are down more than 10% today. For the week, they're down about 20%, eating into some of those huge gains so far this year.
The US Senate has also told its members not to use Zoom as security fears continue to grow. Taiwan has also banned the use of Zoom in government agencies.
The Executive Yuan has banned the use of the video conferencing app Zoom in all government agencies. The decision comes amid security concerns, with researchers finding that encryption keys were being sent to servers in China.
Taiwan is one of the first governments in the world to ban its officials from using the software. Under pressure from lawmakers, Taiwan's Education Ministry has also banned the use of Zoom in schools for remote teaching. It's now asking schools to use conferencing software from other companies such as Google and Microsoft.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Zoom has gone from having 10 million daily users to 200 million. But controversy surrounds the video conference software company, who earlier admitted it had mistakenly routed non-Chinese calls through Chinese servers. Amid privacy concerns, the Executive Yuan has banned the use of the app in government agencies. There are several schools that currently use Zoom. The Ministry of Education lists Zoom as recommended software for distance learning. Around the world, corporations and governments including Tesla, NASA, and the UK's Ministry of Defense have banned the use of Zoom. Taiwan lawmakers said Tuesday that the Education Ministry should address the use of the app in schools.
Many European and American countries, like the US, have already announced that the software will no longer be used in education. So I call on the Ministry of Education to act in accordance to the government's decision. Schools overseen by the Ministry of Education should stop the use of Zoom.
In the wake of lawmakers' outcry, the Ministry of Education has dropped Zoom from its list of recommended video conferencing software, leaving only Microsoft Teams and Google Hangouts Meet. The quiet move could put to rest the days of debate over the video conferencing software.
This is not the only thing Yuan and his company have to worry about. The Intercept reported that Zoom has been falsely advertising itself as using end-to-end encryption, a system that secures communication so that it can only be read by the users involved. In a blog post, Zoom confirmed that end-to-end encryption was not currently possible on the platform, and apologized for the confusion it caused by incorrectly suggesting that it did. It gets even worse. A Zoom shareholder filed a lawsuit against the company for allegedly covering up security vulnerabilities in its app. Filed on April 7th in a San Francisco federal court, the suit accuses top Zoom executives of failing to disclose flaws in the company's software. According to the lawsuit, the video conferencing giant failed to disclose that it was sharing user data to Facebook and concealed the extent to which user data was vulnerable to hackers. Zoom has also been criticized for having a feature called attention tracking. This feature allows a host to see if a user clicks away from a Zoom window for a period of 30 seconds or more. Employers use this feature to check if employees are really tuned into a work meeting. Business Insider reported that although Zoom acted quickly to address privacy concerns, Google and Microsoft have positioned themselves to steal Zoom's market share in the long run. They have focused heavily on improving their respective video conferencing platforms since the beginning of this global pandemic. Google has added Tile View to compete against Zoom's popular Grid View, while Microsoft enabled custom call backgrounds to match the capability of Zoom. Since the news broke out about Zoom's privacy issues, you may think that their $35 billion valuation had taken a nosedive. Surprisingly, at the time of making this video, Zoom's market value rose to a staggering $50.6 billion when the stock market closed on Friday. Founder and CEO Eric Yuan saw his net worth rise by more than $800 million on Friday to $9.3 billion. For now, Zoom seems to be unaffected by the recent controversy. Will they lose more customers? Is their growth sustainable? Only time will tell. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on Zoom's recent security issues. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload. I recommend you watch this video here on 5G technology, as I think you will find it very informative. As always, thanks so much for watching. See you next Monday. Peace.